I have been into art for as long as I can remember. I thought that art would be something that would bring me hope and peace and just, something I'd do for fun when I was little. But then we grow up. I want to talk to all the stolen artists, all the forgotten artists, all the artists who think that perfectionism is the way to go, all the artists who have been painting for years and they feel kind of blank. I'm sure some of you resonate with that. I started feeling that way when I was around 14. That's when I started feeling like painting and making something is a competition. Before that, I used to have a lot of fun painting, I used to have a lot of fun drawing. I used to just do whatever I wanted. But there came a point where the education system, let's delve deeper into that, the education system made me believe that art is something that should be judged, it should be marked, and it just should be something as something that should be, if you know what I mean. So over time, I trained my mind to believe that I have to be super critical of every single thing that I do. I have to point out flaws in everything I do. I have to be like, yo, this looks off, this color doesn't go with this color, this line should not be like this. I should be able to draw straight lines, I should be able to draw straight circles, yes. And I just should be perfect at it. I had friends who turned 16. I turned 16 as well. I mean, we all turned 16. And in that age, I realized that art was about who drew the most perfect lines. And it was no longer about how you felt about it, how you felt making it, exactly what it is that you were chasing, that particular feeling. More often than not, I used to find myself painting when I needed to, get in touch with myself, get my shit together, if you know what I mean. Just get things together, get things going. It's been too stagnant, it's been too stuck, and I just need to let it go. I just need to let myself go and let myself be. And all of this arises from a place of frustration. For how long do I go on living life believing I have to be the best at every single thing I do? So, this one's for for all my forgotten artists or artists who are in making. This voice in your head that says, you're stupid for making a silly mistake, you're not good enough, you're embarrassing yourself, you are never gonna be like one of those artists that you see scrolling through your Instagram. You don't have to be, first of all. And if that is something that you want, you're not too far away from it. The truth is that it has very less to do in the beginning with how good you are at it. You are supposed to make mistakes. You are supposed to mess up. You are supposed to fail. Fail as many times as you need to until you get to the point where art holds its value and its meaning. Because when you lose the meaning with art, it's so hard to get back to it. As someone who has been going through this, being the person who has been trying to mend her relationship with art and just trying to take it easy, I have been on a journey which has been taking me towards believing that every single mistake I make is there for a reason. Every time I mess up in my artworks, every time I do things that I feel like are a bit off, are not going according to how I want them to, I take a moment, I do swear at myself, I do say shh, all of those things. But I end up coming back to myself, holding myself in my arms, and tell me, it's okay. Let's see what we can make out of it. And that's where playing with art comes in. This is something I deeply believe in now because I have literally been playing with paper and paints, and that is so empowering. What I do is that I take a sheet of paper and I start to pick any color at all. And the funny part is when I encourage others to do it as well, they're hesitant in the beginning. I was hesitant too. I was like, why am I doing what I'm doing? And then one day I just spilled colors. I took the paintbrush and I let it just do its thing. It's hard to say, it's hard to turn your mind off. It's easy to say, turn your mind off, do whatever you feel like, but it's hard. This person in here, it's always gonna try to bring you down. That's what I feel. It's not the same for everyone, but of course the audience I'm reaching out to, you, your brain is quite critical. So what happens in these situations is that you feel like there is this imagine, like, this is your hand, right? This is how I feel. This is my hand and I'm starting to paint, and then there is this imaginary hand being like, what are you doing, why are you doing this? And then this hand, it's gonna go back into its shell and give up entirely on that work. So how do I allow this hand to get back into it and play, just do its thing, let go? Because this hand is not the problem. The person who is reaching out to do the work, the person who is reaching out to start something new, the person who is inspired out of the blue, they're not the problem. The problem is this voice in our heads which tells us to step back and just not do anything. Our critical voice, I'm going to call it critical voice because it's not a fancy thing to say. I don't want it to sound fancy because I want it to be what it is. This critical voice stems from all the years of conditioning, all the years of beliefs that we have built up over time, all the people who have told us, this should be like this should be like this should be. Art was never meant to be about shoulds. It was supposed to be about how it feels. The only thing that we all need to do right now, as artists who have lost themselves, as artists who really are trying to heal their relationship with art, as artists who know how much they crave art, how much they crave music, art, any single modality, the only thing right now that we need is to be able to feel, to be able to look at a piece of paper or a dance floor with the lights off, or our singing is the fact that we are doing it in the first place, the fact that we are experiencing that modality, the fact that we are experiencing ourselves as we engage in that modality. So, to all my forgotten artists, my perfectionists, my lost souls, my beautiful little babies, pick that brush up, allow yourself to feel. Ask this to quieten down, to soften its voice, to give you the space that you need to heal. So whenever this voice says, just do it, this is so bad, you look at them and tell them, I hear you. And that's it. Move on. I hear you. I know you're there. But I'm going to move forward. I'm going to make the best out of this. I'm going to make sure that this piece of art does not go unnoticed. My emotions do not go unnoticed because of the voice in my head that tells me that I should be a certain way. What I say to myself instead is, "You stupid!" This is my response to it. It's okay. Let's keep going. It's okay, sweethearts. Let's keep going.